What a couple of great games today, guys. Good games. It's a great way, to start off the first couple games going into the playoffs. Both games were just surprised me a little bit. We'll get into it. Before we get further into the video, make sure you guys comment, like, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. It's your boy Curry Merrick. Let's go. I'm not a fan of either of these teams, but we're just gonna start off with the first game, which was the Texans versus Bills. I was very impressed with both teams, and I'm a Pittsburgh fan, if you guys don't know. So Pittsburgh played the Bills like week 14 or something, or 13, and they did beat us, and their defense is more than legit. Like, I'm loving their style of play. They did give up some big plays today at the end of the game. I remember when Deshaun Watson did a little check down to the running back, and it was like 3rd and 16, and I think it was Duke Johnson or whatever ran and got it. Like, the announcers were right. They should have played like a softer zone, and because of that, they played so far back, so deep. They didn't want to get beat over the top. They got the first down, so that was huge. But today's game, man, I'm a huge fan of Deshaun Watson. I wish we'd get somebody like him, because he's like a younger, more athletic Ben, but with a better arm, probably. Like, Deshaun Watson can freaking whip it, and man, I'm a huge fan, and I have much respect for both teams. So, I actually didn't even want these two teams to play against each other, because I really wanted both of them to make a good run on the AFC side. But, Texans came out with the dub. A huge turning point of the game was probably that sack from J.J. Watt. Pushed the Bills to like a 40-some yard field goal, and then Texans came back and they ended up scoring. That's when Deshaun Watson had that crazy touchdown run. And dude, that dude, he's just a winner. He's a fighter. That's why I have so much respect for that guy. He's pretty smart with the ball for the most part. Josh Allen, on the other hand, man, he was risky today, but we'll get into that. So that was the turning point. I really think it would have been easier for the Texans if they would have had Will Fuller in. He really breaks down the defense and opens it up for the offense a lot. He'll push your safeties back, and that helps with DeAndre Hopkins, which I think is the best receiver in the game. Only thing is, what I always say, he's been doing this more often for some reason. A lot of players do, is when they catch the ball, they hold it with one hand like this. And I know they got like big ass hands, but you can't be gripping it like that. And you saw it today, and White came and swapped it out, or one of the safeties did, and they fumbled it and lost it. And that was huge. So I don't know why these players are doing it. OBJ does it a lot. I'm just not a big fan of it. It's so risky, and you don't know how these NFL players are. They're strong, they're athletic. So when you're holding it out and running like that, all it takes is one of them dudes to hit it out, and you don't got to see it coming. So instead of having it tucked, when even if it bobbles out a little bit, you can kind of control it back. So I'm not huge on that. But yeah, I think Will Fuller is a huge addition to that Texans offense. Sucks they didn't have him, but it didn't matter. So Josh Allen, I'm impressed with him every week. Play in, play out. Like, this dude is becoming a clutch, athletic player. Him and Deshaun Watson are very much alike. They're both very athletic, and they both want to win. Like, you can just tell. Josh Allen's hurdling people. He's trying to break tackles. He's laddering it back, which that was one of the scariest plays for Bills fans I could imagine, because I was like, what is he doing? But that little toss back, I was like mind blown. But they got lucky. Whoever swatted that out of bounds is a very smart play, because it was better than trying to cover on it and getting hit in the ball, like rolling out underneath you, because that happens all the time. So I'm very impressed with that. Josh Allen, you're a wild man. So Josh Allen, we all know he made so many clutch plays. The one when he was rolling to the right, I think they were in a shotgun set. He backs up, he steps into the pocket to avoid a defensive end, and then cuts it like back to the right, goes left, goes back right, and he's on the sideline. This was like third down, and I don't know if it was Cole Beasley, but they did a drag route, and while Josh Allen's scrambling around, he's coming back this way. So you have Josh Allen rolling this way, receiver going that way, getting pushed out of bounds, throws it. It was a beautiful pass. Those are the type of plays that are so difficult. It was like Patrick Mahomes type of play. Just beautiful, and people don't realize how hard it is when you're rolling out and throwing it the opposite way is very dangerous and hard to do. So props to him. This dude, he's a baller. Much respect for him. He's another player like I wish Pittsburgh would have. So when the Bills had an opportunity to tie it up before it got into overtime, I was not liking their approach. For one, I don't think they got that first down. It should have been fourth down with it was 20-some seconds left. Cole Beasley, he was down like half a yard short. But I would not argue that call, because it was so close. Because his knee did touch, and then he dove for the first down, and it looks like he was finally touched right slightly before that first down marker. And then they reviewed it, and I think to them there was not enough evidence, so I actually liked the call, and I wanted to go to overtime anyway, because who doesn't? So, but after the fact, they had 20-some seconds, and they were right around 47, 50-yard field goal range, and they're trying to throw it deep. And I see their approach, because they want to win. finish the game out. But they threw two deep passes into the right corner of the pylon. And I did not like those calls at all. Imagine if that safety or corner could have been or if that ball could have been closer to the inside, and those safeties could have had a better chance of picking that off, and then it would have been game over. I did not like those calls. I would have went for the more safe approach, and you've seen everybody playing back. So what you could have did a little screen or one of them quick slants or drag routes to get an extra 5 to 10, 15 yards, and instead of a 47-yard field goal, make it a 37-yard field goal. Make it easier for your kicker. That was not the approach they went with. That's what I would have done. So, but it all worked out because they did get the field goal. I mean, they lost in overtime, but one of the huge calls that I disagree a lot this year is they call that those blindside blocks when the quarterbacks roll out of the pocket and they start going past the lineman. And when defensive linemen are trying to chase him, the lineman comes back and blocks him. And most of the time it is kind of like a blindside block. But I do not like that call. I don't really like the calls at all in general unless you're leaning with your head, obviously, because that's, we can't do that now. But I don't like this call because it was more like a screen. The dude came and he didn't come with a lot of effort, and he just came and just gave him a nice little shove. So I don't like that call because it's not like the dude tried to kill him and destroy him. He pretty much did like a pick play, but just a little more aggressive. I didn't like it. It was a 15-yard penalty. So the biggest outcome of today's game was that very last drive there with Deshaun Watson. And this just proves how great of an athlete he is. He does it all the time, and he's one of the best at it. And he is the toughest quarterback. He reminds me of a much better Cam Newton. He really does. Cam was real tough his first couple years into the league, but Cam was not very smart because he got beat up. And they were kind of similar because they both had pretty bad offensive lines. But Texans have been doing a great job. And I was not a huge fan of Bill O'Brien, but I became to kind of like him a little bit lately. So for him to avoid these defensive players right here was insane. It was just kind of weird because he got hit and then the other guy came and he spun and it kept him up, and he rolls out and boom, he found, I don't even know who that was, found him, and the dude was mad quick, got him down to the 10-yard line. And I loved Bill O'Brien's call to we're just going to end it here. Go for the field goal. No need to rush it. No reason to chance it and fumble the ball or whatever. So I love that call. And they put the game out. And now it's going to be Texans versus Baltimore. Which this was the other reason why I wasn't sure who I'd rather win, because I need Baltimore to lose. I'm a Pittsburgh fan, and I just want to see somebody put Lamar Jackson in his place. Mad respect to him. He's a great athlete, but it's just been frustrating to watch. So I don't know who would be better. Would be the Texans or that Bills defense, because the Bills and the Ravens played earlier this year, and that was a great game. So I'm just going to be doing today's game and then tomorrow's games. So get a little bit of both. I'll make 2 videos of these. We're going to talk about the Patriots game here. So alright guys, so I'm back. I'm ready to do part 2 of the video, the second game, Titans versus England Patriots. So, wow. Dereck Henry, you're a beast, my guy. You are a beast. You remind me a lot of like Marshawn Lynch, maybe like Jerome Bettis, but faster. This dude's freaking fast. I think in the NFL Combine he ran like a 4.4 or 4.3 40 or something. Nah, I couldn't have been 4.3. Probably like a 4.4, 4.5. But man, you are fast. You are good at reading the holes. I'm very impressed with how you played this year and last year. You know, I know you're not the best receiving back, but you know, I love how the Titans played today. It was crazy, and it was one of the most interesting scoreless second halves I've ever watched. I mean, until the end there, with Tom Brady's pick. So I want to first start off with the first half of the game a little bit. So both teams on the first possession went right down the field. New England got a field goal. The Titans got a touchdown. It's like, all right, it's going to be one of these games. But I should have known they were both going to kind of do that, at least New England, because in the postseason, they tend to do that a lot. They do like a hurry-up offense. They got their plays figured out, and then the defense usually does something to change that. And then after that, it was very up and down between both teams. And like, I love watching games when Tony Romo announces. He's my favorite announcer. I said that last year. You can tell he just loves the game of football and he knows so much. I love listening to him. So he was talking about, and everybody knows this. Today was a game where turnovers is gonna come into play. Whoever turns the ball over has a good chance of losing this game, which was crazy because Ryan Tannehill threw that terrible interception, and he should have just took the sack or tried throwing it out of bounds, but he tried to make a big play. But it wasn't that bad because it was still outside the 50 and New England still wasn't able to do anything. I started realizing the Patriots played the same like they did all year. They didn't have the weapons. They don't have the outside receivers to stretch the field at all. I mean, when you can double cover Julian Edelman all game long and you gotta rely on a mediocre, decent tight end with some great receiving backs, but these receiving backs are short. They're not gonna really be able to compete one-on-one against, decent corners. So I really expected Sanu to really step in and play a huge part into this season, but he just does not look like he fits this at all. Or New England, maybe he's having a hard time with the playbook, but it just doesn't seem like it's clicking for him. N'Keal Harry, I forget if that's how you pronounce it. He's been a big letdown. I mean, he was hurt until like week 13 or 14, and like they said, he only had 12 catches for like 100 yards or 200 yards or something. I mean, no, I don't think he's had a touchdown, maybe one. And that's not enough. That's not enough time there for Tom Brady to really grasp like a good relationship with you on the field. So, like, if it was like an Antonio Brown earlier in the year, that's different because you have a player with experience and who's one of the best, and they clicked right away. So it's different, and this kid was a rookie. Brady needs help, and the big question is he going to come back? He's going to come back. You heard Tony Romo at the end. This dude, he's relentless. He wants to play till he's 45. And I know it looks like he's slowed down, but he really has had a hard time this year. They're lucky because they had the easiest schedule. This could have been the easiest road to the Super Bowl for them, I think, ever in his career with that schedule they had. So I think this was good for them to get eliminated in the first round. What worries me is I was wrong because Tennessee plays Baltimore. And I don't know if I like that matchup now. I do not like it. I don't see. I don't know. I just don't know if I like that matchup with Baltimore. I think Baltimore might destroy him now. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. But I love Ryan Tannehill with the Titans. It's a huge game changer. They had Mariota for the past couple years now. They had him for a while, actually. And I don't think they've been to the postseason. Maybe once with Mariota. Ryan Tannehill, to his advantage, he's used to playing against Bill Belichick. But Ryan Tannehill is simple. He makes good decisions. He really doesn't force that many balls, except for that interception today. But he was trying to make a play. And he's here to get the job done. Like, I love the two-back set they use between Dereck Henry and was it Dion Lewis? And they just work so well together because even when Lewis is in, they suspect that it's going to be a pass, but he can still run the ball good. And same with Dereck Henry. When they think he's in, they think they're just going to ground and pound. But you saw today, he caught a couple screens. He gets open. This man, Dereck Henry, for this amount of carries, he is a workhorse. He had no fumbles, which was the major thing. I was waiting for something like that to happen in the fourth. But he held on. And all game, he only had I think it was like 2 runs behind the line of scrimmage. And one of them, he's tripped on his own and fell. So this man averaged like 5 yards a carry, no fumbles. And he pretty much clutched it at the end. He's the one that brought that time down, got that extra first down. I was amazed, man. You were the MVP of today's game. Props to you. So a huge shout out goes out to the Titans coach, Mike Graybill. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I was laughing when they kind of had that throwdown at the 5-minute mark when Tennessee was trying to punt the ball and they were letting the time go down and go down. And I was loving it because he was playing with Bill Belichick and they were going back and forth. And Belichick's such a good coach. He knew what he was trying to do. So Belichick wasn't just going to stand there and let it happen. So he was trying to talk to the refs, do what he could. And everybody saw at the end, they wasted 1 minute and 20 seconds from that. So imagine there at the end of the game, they could have had at least an extra 40 seconds or whatever, would have had that time back. So that was a great job by him. Very smart. I like this coach a lot. He's seen his players love him. He seems like a players coach like Mike Tomlin. So I think this dude's going to have a great, great career. I like him a lot. So what I've noticed in today's game, both of them, is refs have been calling very good games. You didn't see any real bad calls, any bad pass interference calls. They aren't, calling things that are questionable. I mean, here and there, but I think overall they did a very good job. Very good job. And it's crazy. You're starting to see defenses adapt a lot. You're seeing with all these new rules coming into play and quarterback hits and hitting out of bounds and unnecessary roughness, all this stuff is starting to get toned down, especially in the playoffs. You're seeing these players are playing smart and being very disciplined. So it's interesting seeing that now because it's taken a while for teams to get used to that. Think of it, these players play their whole lives being aggressive, hitting after the whistle, and now you get penalized for it. So it's going to take time. And lately, it just seems like teams are being very smart about it. Some players, they can't help it, but like J.J. Watt today, he had that hit. He had his head over the shoulder, brought him down, but he didn't enforce it more to kill him. So I'm very impressed with some of these players going through that right now. And another huge shout out is to the Titans punter. Yo, you are a freaking G, man. You only had, what'd they say, two punts go inside the red zone or inside the end zone. And today you had three very important punts go inside the 10. And then there at the end, that pretty much iced the game. You got it to the 1 yard line, my man. 1 yard line. And then Tom Brady had one play, threw a pick, scored, game's over. Very, very good punting. I mean, you deserve to be like first time, or you deserve to be an all-pro punter. Congrats to you. So, I just kind of wanted to do a video of today's game and then tomorrow's games. I was very impressed with today. It was both very good games. They were close. Man, the Bills-Texans, though, that was such a nail-biter. I really did not see... That's weird. Like, I didn't see the Patriots losing today. But then again, I did. I was like, all year, Tom Brady's been having a hard time. This whole offense just can't get moving. And I was like, I don't know if they'll be able to do anything anyway. But then again, I was like, well, it's Bill Belichick, it's Tom Brady, and they get through the craziest times. Just like, I still remember when they played the Falcons in the Super Bowl. That was one of the craziest Super Bowls I've ever seen. So, this was kind of a shocker to me. But, that's why I think Tom he's going to come back. Man, I don't know. Maybe the Patriots won't want to re-sign him, but he's going to be back. And another thing I was thinking, with Mariota, he's going to have to end up going somewhere next year because I'm sure he's not going to want to, be benched for the whole season. I was thinking Pittsburgh, you can come to Pittsburgh, man. I'm not a huge fan of you, but I know you're better than Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph. And hopefully Ben comes back, but, it'd be nice to have you as a backup. And if Ben doesn't, but, I'm just talking out my ass now. Yeah, so for tomorrow's game, we have the Vikings versus Saints. And then we have the Seahawks versus Philly. Seahawks versus the Eagles. I think, these are my predictions, Saints are going to win. I think Saints might blow out the Vikings, actually. I think they're hungry after last year. I predicted the Saints to go to the Super Bowl this year. And then I really could see Philly upsetting Seattle. Because I think the NFC Championship game would come down to the Saints versus 49ers. Something like that. I don't know. 49ers would probably be there. But I could see Seattle. If Seattle would beat Philly, I could see them beating the 49ers. That's such a rival. They split this year. And 49ers just beat them a couple weeks ago. So I feel like Seattle would have a very good chance of beating them. The only thing is, 49ers does have home field advantage. And with Seattle and Philly, I just really could see it being an upset. I think Seattle was like 2.5-point favorites. So I just wouldn't be surprised. Seattle's definitely a team who relies on Russell Wilson too much, I think. And with their running backs going down, this is huge. I didn't see a whole lot from Marshawn Lynch, but you never know. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm still a little shocked by some of the games today. So it'll be Texans versus. Oh yeah, let me do the prediction for Texans versus Chiefs and Titans versus Baltimore. Baltimore is going to win. I really don't know about the Chiefs and Texans. I think that's going to be one of the best games. That's going to be a hell of a game. But I'm going to have to say the Chiefs. I think it's Patrick Mahomes' time to shine, and you never know. Deshaun Watson's my boy, and he's relentless, and he's freaking a winner. So we'll see. But let me know what y'all think. Comment down below. That's it for the video. I know it was a little long. It's just so much is going on right now. I freaking love football. But alright guys, make sure you comment, like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I'm almost at 100. It's gonna be my year, 2020. Curry Mac, out.